Rarities are a thing that's often overlooked in Brawl Stars. Back in the day, they used to measure how complex the brawler is. Nowadays, they're only used to show how hard it is to get a brawler. So, how did Rarities fall down so bad? Back in beta, when Brawl Stars was still not global launched, there wasn't even legendary rarity. Maximum was epic or something like that. Soon enough, we had the brawlers like Terra, which really had a super that's worth being a mythic. Soon enough, we were greeted with the first two legendaries, Crow and Spike. These two legendaries had very unique mechanics, such as Crow with the poison, which no brawler ever had before, and Spike who introduced slowdown in Brawl Stars. Yes, there weren't even star powers. The Spike Super was the first thing in Brawl Stars to include the slowdown. Not only that, he had an attack that splits, and the thing is, his attack used to split in RNG. That meant the attack, yes, it did split into 6, but it was pretty random. These legendaries, this new rarity, felt very amazing. Many players were excited to unlock it. In December 2018, we were greeted with Leon, one of the most broken brawlers on release. Due to his 10-second super invisibility, that he wasn't even detectable. Even if he was on top of you, you wouldn't see him. His extremely high DPS, which by the way made him almost able to two-shot any brawler. This new brawler, this Leon, his invisibility mechanic was so unique, many players were excited to get him. However, it felt like it was pretty much impossible to unlock him. It felt like everything was rigged, which stirred up some controversy. I remember myself, I was one of the players who wanted to unlock him, one of the millions who wanted to unlock him, but he was ridiculously rare to unlock. Although the fourth legendary released in 2019, Sandy, wasn't very unique because his super also gave invisibility, but that didn't make Leon fall down. It was still pretty nice. He still felt quite nice. Not only that, he was quite strong on release, and that's the thing Brawl Stars used to do. They used to make legendaries a bit more powerful than the other brawlers, just to make it feel like the luck was worth it. Because imagine if you get a legendary and you find out they're as weak as Colette on release. Wouldn't that make you feel disappointed? Now I'm gonna stop talking about legendaries and keep listing each one of them, because obviously it will just make the video extremely long. I'll just finish with saying October 2020 we had Amber. Not only was she broken on release, she introduced this unique super and attack. However, recently we have started to notice that Brawl Stars creativity is starting to leave. Take Draco as an example. Released in 2024, his attack was basically pretty much like Piper's. Sure, he did introduce critical damage, but his super was pretty much Amber. One of his star powers was basically Belle's super. A gadget is basically Bee's old star power. And later, we found out more brawlers are starting to steal what's made others unique, and this introduced the whole concept of supremacy. What I call supremacy is when a brawler, for example, was unique with their super, suddenly has their super either copied or turned into a gadget from a brawler with either a high rarity or in some rare occasions a lower rarity. Take Gus with his super. He was released in 2021. His super was pretty much the shield, and then we have Edgar with the gadget that is pretty much the same shield. One of the most popular examples is Leon, whose invisibility was rudely stolen by Kit as just a simple green button, and Otis with his super as a mythic got stolen it became a gadget for Cordelius. To some it's not a major topic, to others it feels like it makes brawlers who used to be unique just feel like ridiculously ripped off. And it doesn't help the fact that Brawl Stars started to release more epics and mythics than other rarities. Sometimes even legendaries don't even feel unique anymore. I'm not saying Brawl Stars hasn't released any unique brawlers like Juju, but I'm saying, for example, brawlers like Kenji, who was just a bunch of brawlers shoved into a blender, have started to appear more and more. One of the things that made legendaries or higher rarities in general, like Mythic, feel way less unique, other than the fact of copying, is that getting them became much easier, especially with the introduction of the Star Road. Because back in the day there were commons which you could unlock with trophies. Nowadays you unlock with credits, as if you didn't know that already. And already you get one of the first 3 OG legendaries, which don't feel unique anymore because their mechanics were ridiculously stolen, like a ridiculous amount of times. This in general makes the legendaries feel way less legendary as a rarity. It became much easier to get them, and all of this just to quote unquote remove RNG from the game with the December 2022 update that ironically introduced Chester with the word chest in his name, which probably refers to boxes being removed, and the whole brawler was based on RNG, which I really feel like Supercell or Brawl Stars in general was making fun of themselves. A hilarious fact is that the last rare brawler we ever had was Rosa in April 2019, which makes it more than 6 years since a rare brawler has been released, and Brawl Stars quote unquote did that just to make new players not feel overwhelmed by the amount of brawlers they have to unlock first so they can move on to higher rarities, which I find is a dumb argument, because rarities in general in games, there should be less legendaries than mythics, there should be less mythics than epics, etc. The lower rarity should be the more available one, because when you have 26 mythics or something like that, it doesn't really feel like a unique rarity. Though we have to point out one thing, is not sometimes Supercell makes some exceptions. For example, Carl on release, no one had the boomerang mechanic. He was the first brawler with 1 ammo, yet he was still considered a super rare. Even in Clash Royale they did that with the Firecracker, who despite her unique mechanics was rendered a common because Brawl Stars hasn't made a common since a while. And as a solution to this whole rarities problem, I suggest making more rare brawlers or super rare brawlers, something like that. Just make the rarities a little more equal, because having more epics and mythics than probably legendaries and super rares combined doesn't really make sense at all. Additionally, you can put the whole exceptions phenomenon, or just rework some brawler rarities, although that is not a very good solution, because suddenly imagine you were just chilling with Belle. I don't mean literally chilling, anyways. You're just playing Belle. A day later, you find out she became a legendary. Why? Because she has unique mechanics, and all of a sudden, brawler rarities are just getting swapped, and that would feel chaotic. Though that happens sometimes, for example, with Mortis becoming an epic, Tick moving from mythic to common to super rare, and Bo, who also changed rarities from super rare to epic. But all that happening at the same time would be overwhelming. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to see a video about the problem of broken brawlers on release in Brawl Stars, don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.